Yes, the full board met last night. 2/3 voted to have you terminated.
I'm fired.
That sums up what we had in mind.
I am fired because I insulted a so-called attorney of Carpenter's? I don't believe it.
Well, maybe you'll believe it when the county marshal comes to escort you from the office. That is, unless you're out of here by 5 o'clock today.
You wouldn't dare.
Put me to the test. I've looked forward to this day for a long time, Ms. Marshall.
I'm finished, right? I am no longer on the county payroll?
Precisely.
Then I have got a few things to say to you, Jack. You have treated the county commissioner's office like it was a doormat, wiping your dirty feet all over it. But like they say, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you cannot fool all of the people all of the time.
Please spare me the dramatics.
Oh, you reap what you sow, Commissioner. And you are up to your navel in dirt. You, Carpenter, Webster, Hollister Mall, Proto-Chem, and about a half a dozen other dirty deals are going to find yourselves dumped in the river.
What's that supposed to mean?
What I mean is that I don't get walked on without biting back.
This meeting is over, young lady.
And you be glad that I am a lady, you... Commissioner.
Well, how's your favorite county commissioner doing?
He's fine, I'm sure.
So you finally cooled old Slaymaker off, huh?
Oh, yeah, he's cooled off all right, just like the executioner behind a black mask.
What are you talking about?
Just like that. I got the axe, Gene.
Sam, I don't believe that. You gotta be kidding me. You mean to tell me that he fired you?
I don't know whether I should start crying or if I should just...
Oh, Sam, hey, this whole thing is wrong. The whole mess, it's all my fault. Gosh,
Look, Gene, it has happened.
God.
I just want to get out of here.
Don't you see, I'm the one that should be getting fired. I mean, Carpenter is my problem. I'm the one that's responsible. If you go, I go.
Oh, please, Gene, don't say that, okay?
Hi, you got my permit ready? Cooper Contracting.
Hey, office is closed today. No permits today, okay?
What are you talking about? It ain't 5 yet.
Hey, don't you hear, man? I said the office is closed. Try again tomorrow.
Crazy people.
Business as usual. Not at all. I tell you, this is ridiculous. Hey, lady, you can blame me for all of this. I'm sorry.
It is not your fault.
Hey, look. Slaymaker and Carpenter are gonna pay for this. Sam? I mean it. I'm gonna make them pay for everything that they've done.
Well, that's great. How about if I bring dinner home tonight? No, I'm not knocking your cooking, all right. Honest. Okay, I'll be home in about an hour with a surprise, okay? I love you too. Bye-bye.
Dr. Bell, I need to see you for a minute.
Nesto, come on in. How... Wait, it's not little Juanita's throat again, is it?
No, family's fine. I'm just gonna say goodbye and thank you for being our doctor.
Goodbye? Ernesto, are you leaving the neighborhood? You, Marcia, and the children? If you leave, it's one more victory for Carpenter. Ernesto, we've got to stick together and fight.
It's no use.
Where will you stay?
I stay with Marcia's brother over the east side.
Well, that's clear across town. Now, how will you manage with 5 kids?
We are a close family.
Oh, Ernesto, please. Look, You know it's illegal what they're doing to us. It's just a matter of time before the authorities find out. If you leave now, you're admitting defeat.
This man, Carpenter, he cannot be stopped. It's only by God himself.
You won't reconsider.
No, I'm sorry. I'm tired of fighting. Like you say, I admit defeat. It's not make me proud.
Please stay in touch with me. And if there's anything you need...
Thank you. Dr. Ben, maybe it's time you go too. Something's better left in God's hands. Adios.
I hope you don't mind about the late meeting, Scott. I scheduled you for now so that we'd have plenty of time to talk and fewer interruptions.
No, that's fine, John.
Well, what's on your mind? Judging from your tone, I would say the matter was an urgent one.
Actually, two urgent matters. One depends on the other.
Well, you said something about a new sponsor. That sounds interesting. Tell me more about it.
Well, Clean All Products is testing a new line in our market. Over $1 million in advertising, and we've got it. If we want it.
Well, it's a big chunk of revenue for the station. Did you close the deal?
No, John. It's pending.
Pending what?
The outcome of this conversation.
I don't understand, Scott. You've never had to consult
Now, John,
with me
we've
about...
been in this business a long time. Now, from the very beginning, our relationship was based upon mutual trust. That's why I took the job.
I'd like to think that was the case, Scott.
I want you to level with me, John. I have reason to believe that this station is nothing more than a tax shelter for Mark investment corporations.
Well, why the concern? Tax shelters are a common business practice.
Well, that may be true, but tax shelter means tax write-off. Do you want this station to be successful?
Scott, I wouldn't have hired you if our motive was to lose money.
I heard another story. Frankly, I won't work that way. If I've been wasting my time playing financial games with a toy TV station...
All right, Scott. It is true. We were considering making the station's operation a marginal one, so that we might gain a tax advantage.
Then you'll do it without me.
Hold on, Scott. I said we were considering it. That was before you came along. Now, you've made some pretty impressive changes here in a short time. I mean, this new sponsor, new promotional campaign, upgrading personnel, and now we have a station that could be a very big success.
Well, that was my idea, making it successful. Now, Mark Investment Corporation has another idea.
Scott, you have the ball. Run with it. No interference.
Okay, fine, John. I'll take your word for it. And now the other matter.
The new equipment.
No, the new face.
What?
The new personnel manager. I didn't hire her.
Well, Scott, I thought we talked about that. I assumed that I had your okay for Nancy in that position.
John, we just can't work this way. I run the station, I choose the personnel. I've got to have that understanding with you, John. I don't want Nancy working for me.
May I ask why?
She just doesn't have the qualifications.
Oh, 3 years of my life packed into 2 boxes. 3 years of memories. Look at this. Sally gave this to me at the end of my first year. Read what it says.
Today's rough times will become tomorrow's good old days. There's a lot of wisdom in those words, lady.
Oh, you think I'll look back on these good old days when I got fired from P&D?
Yeah, I read it as saying that when you look back, things may not seem as bad as they do right now.
You know, I can remember when I was first hired by this office.
Ma'am?
Yeah, as a clerk. I used to sit right about here. The office was about half the size that it is now, if you can believe that. But anyway, there was a wall there. Anyway, old man Crocker was in charge then. He was ancient. Must have been around when they took this town from the Indians. But I sure did love that old man. I really learned a lot from him. The first day I came to the office, you know what he said? I'll never forget it. He says, Miss Marshall, as you climb the ladder of success, don't step back to admire your work. Just keep on climbing.
Hey, look who's here.
Just wanted to tell you, we know you'll do just fine.
Oh,
We love you, Sam.
oh, thank you. Well, I'm not gonna be disappearing off the face of the earth. I'll see you.
Have you made any plans?
Well, aside from taking those 2 boxes of memories and walking out that door, no.
Give this lady time and she'll be running the whole town.
No way. I would not have the mayor's job.
Sleigh makers, maybe.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Hey, lady. You ready to leave?
Well, I don't think so. Oh, just a while ago I was ready to run out of here, but something's telling me to stay right now.
Hey. Now look. Now, whatever it is that's telling you to stay, you tell it to button up.
Oh, Gene.
No. Now you get to feeling too melancholy about this place and it's gonna be hard on you.
Well, what do you say?
I'm saying that when you go through that door, the reality of this is gonna hit you right smack in the face.
I'll be ready for it.
I know you will, but I'm just making sure.
Oh, what was that for?
Well, that was just what you would call a little protection from the outside world, you might say. What do you say we blow this joint, huh?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
All right. Get going. Move.
Gene, don't forget your coat.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. I got it.
And don't forget to turn out the lights before you lock up, okay?
Right, boss.
And that's why I think I just have to have a secretary, because I just can't handle all of those phone calls along with my... Daddy, we've been robbed, look!
What? Well, whoever made off with our belongings was certainly very selective about it. Helen's Balik vase is gone, but my glass decanters are still here. That's very strange.
Daddy, this is terrible. All of Mother's furs, her jewelry, and her clothes are all gone.
Well, it's very clear now.
I don't think anything is very clear, and I think you'd better call the police right away instead of, what are you sitting around reading something for?
It's a note from your mother.
What do you mean from Mother?
Well, it appears that she is our burglar. She's taken her belongings and left.
Did she say anything else?
Well, here. Read it for yourself. I didn't think she had it in her to do this.
I love you and Miriam dearly. It sounds just like her. How much you may never know. For this reason, I refuse to grant you a divorce. Okay, I am moving what few personal items I have left out of the house. You will not be able to find me, but I will write you from time to time. I wish you both well, love, Helen. Why do you think she did this?
That's easy. Control. She plans to control us by pulling this little disappearing act.
Daddy, I've got to admit, I really can't blame her too much, because you have been putting an awful lot of pressure on her lately.
Now listen, don't you start feeling sorry for her. She did this for herself. And the least she could have done was follow through on the divorce.
Where do you think she could have gone?
I don't know. But I know one thing. I'm going to track her down.
Okay, so how do you plan on doing that?
I've got an idea, and I think Harold Webster is just the fellow to help me with it. I hope he's in. Come on.
Hello?
Hello, Harold. This is Charles.
Hey, Charles.
Listen, I need your assistance. Something's come up.
Not another complaint about Hollister Square.
No. Helen has flown the coop, bag and baggage, no forwarding address.
Well, don't feel like the Lone Ranger. My ex pulled that same stunt. Took a private detective to track her down.
Would you mind sparing me the editorials, please? I hope it doesn't go to private detectives.
All you got left right now is a simple case of desertion. Not much of a case to add.
Well, see what you can do with it. Now, I'm counting on her to surface, and when she does, that's when we nail her.
You sound like you're hunting wild game, trying to harpoon a whale.
Well, the analogy isn't too far off.
How's that?
Let's just say that we're going to go hunting, and that I want to put the trophy on the wall.
Nancy, you home?
Yes, I'm here. Is this a fire drill?
Would you come into the kitchen, please?
Your wish is my command. Oh, I was hoping you had dinner ready. I'm starving.
No such luck. Terry's out, so dinner will be late tonight. Where's Peter?
Oh, Peter's gone out in our new car. Do you know he wouldn't even let me use it tonight?
I didn't know your name was on the title.
Well, actually, your name is on the title, isn't it, Scott?
That's right, and on the insurance. I'm afraid the coverage is limited to Peter and myself.
Oh, convenient.
And practical. Look, Nancy, is it always necessary to have a verbal joust every time we communicate?
Well, it takes two to tango.
Very difficult to communicate with you when you have that kind of an attitude.
Sorry about that.
Nevertheless, I want to discuss some business with you.
Business? What kind of business?
Your position at the station. And your career development program with John Durkin.
Oh, yeah. Well, isn't it nice of John to cultivate my talents like that?
It's finished, Nancy.
What do you mean it's finished? It hasn't even started.
Nancy, you won't be working at the station.
But you have no right to say that to me. John hired me. I earned that job myself.
I refuse to get into a shouting match with you. Now, John and I had a talk, and he backed me. He promised me he wouldn't hire without my authorization.
But you okayed it. I was there.
I did no such thing. Now, I know this has to be a big disappointment to you, but it's a matter of policy. The general manager selects the personnel.
What's wrong? Didn't I meet up to your standards?
Frankly, no. Now, we're talking about a job that has to be filled. I would have to evaluate you just like I would any other applicant. I want you to hear my evaluation.
Oh, listen, I don't want to listen to this.
You should know about this, Nancy, and maybe you can deal with it better in the future. You're very attractive and bright, but the one major flaw in your employment profile is your resentment.
Resentment? Where does resentment fit into an employment profile?
Resentment is a negative force that slowly builds up inside. It can take over your thoughts and actions, the way you relate to people, even the way you talk.
Oh, come on, Scott. Spare me the sermon.
No, it's the truth, and it's you I'm talking about. Now, hear me out.
I'll give you 30 seconds.
I got to admit you had me baffled. I didn't quite know what to do with you, but I believe this is the key.
Oh, yeah? What's the key, Scott?
You're always looking for easy answers to difficult questions. That chip-on-the-shoulder attitude of yours is because resentment.
I think I can hear a little resentment in you.
There's only one way you can get rid of it.
Oh, you want me to fall on my knees and repent?
Nancy, it doesn't matter what I want. That's for you to decide.
What do you want me to do?
Well, why don't you just let go? Ask God to meet you right where you are and make a big difference in your life.
Not now. Maybe I'll meet God some other time. Maybe I just feel a little too much resentment now.
I had just got back from Nam. My buddies had to go to work pumping gas and washing cars. I fell into this real estate deal, swampland, dirt cheap. So I took a chance. Bingo. 6 months later, some big oil company paid me 20 times what I bought it for.
How did you wind up here, Leon?
Now, Kathleen, you had to ask that question, didn't you? Well, that was another real estate deal. I'm still waiting on this one to come through. Did you hear something?
You expecting someone?
Nope. This is better than good.
Hi, I sure could use somebody to talk to. Oh, I am sorry. I should have called.
No harm done. Come right on in. I want you to meet Kathleen Brooks. Kathleen Brooks, this is my sister Samantha.
Hello? Hello. You didn't tell me you had a sister.
Well, we hadn't gotten into my family history yet.
Well, I'm not going to believe this.
That's right. Sam is my sister. We have the same birthmark on our shoulder.
Now, I know I don't believe you.
Listen, we'll get this straightened out.
Look, I am really sorry
That's
that
okay,
I barged...
Sam. Kathleen, would you mind if I see you later?
Well, I have to think about that one.
Trust me, okay? I'll call you.
Well, that is my second disaster for today. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That was a good test of character, and Kathleen just flunked the test.
You're not upset?
No. Jealous women are nothing but trouble. I should thank you for flushing her out. You didn't stop by here just to chew the fat, did you?
Leon, Commissioner Slaymaker fired me today.
Well, that decided that.
Is that all you've got to say?
Yep. Well, I knew you did what you thought was right, and if they didn't buy it, well, it's time for you to go anyway.
Well, I also apologized to Webster. That had to be the toughest thing I've ever done in my life.
Well, good for you, sister. That's a feather in your cap.
Yeah, but where did it get me?
Peace of mind, I hope. And a feather.
Well, you're right. I did feel better.
Now, shall we decide what the next chapter of your life holds for you?
Well, right now my mind is an absolute blank.
Have you considered real estate, dear sister? Commercial real estate.
Well, I've only been working in it for the past 3 years.
I tell you what. Let's discuss your bright future over some chicken chow mein. I know this nice little Chinese restaurant. Come on. My treat.
I'd love to.